Okay, it's done it several times going home here, so let's see if, not as bad as it did the other day where it locked the whole steering completely up, but let's see if it'll act up, because it did happen at like 52 miles an hour. It darted one direction, then the other. It actually didn't just lock up, it actually tried to head that direction. So we'll see. So I go through the stoplight here, we'll see what happens. Um, 2,215 miles on it now. The only thing I've done differently is I always shut the A off, because I don't like the stopping and the starting at stoplights. So as you can see, that's indicated on the dash, but there is no cruise control on, there is no steering assist on. Well, it says there's no steering assist, but it's something's going horribly wrong somewhere. We'll just leave it at that. As you can see right now, steering wheel's loose. We're not moving at all, so there's a little bit of tension on it. Then once you start moving, then it's really free, so nice and smooth. So we're about 38 right now, 37, 38, 40, and that time it feels fine. The steering wheel's just consistent pressure back and forth. There, it jerked there. It got completely rock hard and then broke free, decelerating about 41 miles an hour. And there's a car in front of me that you can't see with the phone, so we're hanging out where we need to here at 36, 35. So you can see, it just a little bit of tension both directions, but there's nothing abnormal. It's perfectly fine there. Got a four-way stop up here, so we'll try to make it through that here. And see, feels fine there. Move a little bit, feels fine. A little bit of tension. A little bit faster you get going, a little bit smoother or easier it gets to wobble the steering wheel. Okay, there we go. We'll go through the stop here, and we're in a 40-mile-an-hour speed zone, so we'll see what it does here. Normal light acceleration here, we're about 35. Even turning, it's feeling fine, like right there. There's no pressure on it. We're 40 right now, there's no pressure there, so it feels fine there. Start decelerating and see if it does it. No, felt fine there. We're at 41. Start decelerating here. starting off from a stop sign here, four-way stop. We got another four-way stop coming up here, so probably won't get going fast enough, at least around that 38 to 41. I have had it do it, like I said, at about 52. There was a pretty bad jerk. That's why I started recording this. We're at a four-way stop here. We've got a line of about 2 or 3 cars in front of us here. Just keep pinching up. As you can still see, there's no cruise control on, there's no steering assist, nothing abnormal, no other indicator lights on the dash. Okay. Got a little bit of space here before we hit a stoplight, so we'll see if we hit speed limit's 40. We'll see what happens here. We're at 37, 38, 39. There we go. It was jerking, and the lane indicators were flashing on the left side. And we'll get up here on Main Street, and we're gonna make another lap since we're on a. It hasn't done it majorly, but that was definitely not right. I tried to compensate for it, detected that I was supposedly out of a lane, which I haven't changed lanes, and it wanted to compensate for it. So it lit up the left lane indicator on the dash there. We're at Garden Ridge and Main Street here in Louisville Flower Mound area. Louisville, left-hand turn. We're gonna turn onto Main Street here. Nice smooth turn there, no problem, but we've got a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit here, so we should be able to get back up to that 40, 45. It turns to 45 up here, so. Right in the center lane, right between the lines. We're at 41 right now, and it feels perfectly fine. Not a problem at all. 42, not a problem at all. I'm going to go ahead and turn to the left, get in the fast lane here. So I am in the left lane. We're at 42, smooth as can be right there. No jerking, no hard spots. Feels perfectly fine. 43 right now. Right there, just locked up, in the indicator on the left-hand lane was saying that it started flashing, or flashed once, and I was nowhere near that marker. The solid line on the left. So maybe I can hold this up here a little bit more and see if I can get the road along with it. Maybe this is tied to the camera issue we've had since 200 miles on this fantastic, great car I've purchased also. So let's see. We're at 43. It feels fine here. And the cars are stopping. We're stopping. Kind of discouraging to have a car that has 2,000 miles on it and you got 4 or 5 issues you can't duplicate. So, well, maybe this video will help that. So, 37 here. It's feeling fine. As you can see, we're at a stoplight here. Morris and Cross Timbers here in Flower Mound. So the weird thing is, most of the time when it does it, I have not seen one of the lines light up like you're crossing the line. It just binds down and gets solid, or it starts jerking like it's trying to compensate for it. That's what I experienced today at 52 miles an hour. The other day it just bound completely up, and I needed to veer off to the right and about went in and creamed the curb and the sign. So right now we're at about 37 and it feels fine. There's a Mercedes pulling in front of us to cut us off, so we're stopping. After we get through this stoplight, it'll open up a little bit and see if we can get more open road here in the next couple miles and see if we can get more to act up. Maybe this will help. Still, again, no steering assist, no cruise control on. So we can see that makes a difference on the dash. You can see cruise control on, off, steering assist with the cruise control on and off. So we're back to everything off. Steering wheel feels normal for a stoplight, just sitting here. Okay, we're gonna start moving a little bit here. Feels fine at this point. We're only at 27 degrees. Or 27 miles an hour. We're gonna hit a red light again here, but after this it should open up a little bit. So hopefully we can make it a ways and maintain the 40, 50 miles an hour and go above that and drop below it. Feels fine here. Nothing to be concerned with there. 2,219 miles now. Currently outside temp says 72 degrees and it's 5:37 p.m. so a little too warm for the rattle noise to probably act up, but did get the vision indicator to act up this morning. I've got that documented. First time took a picture of the windshield, there was nothing on the windshield. I started it up, there was nothing. Everything seemed fine. I went ahead and went inside, shut it off, went inside, came back out 5 minutes later and started up, and the vision indicator light was on, with all the lights on the dash saying that everything was disabled because of that. So .28 and steering feels fine at this point. We're at 38, feels fine. I'm right between the solid yellow line on the left and the white dash line. .43, steering feels perfectly fine. We're slowing down up here. We got another light. It just turned green. We went below 40. We're at 33, 31, 30. Steering feels completely fine there. See, we're perfectly fine, centered right between the lines. We're at 42, steering feels fine. Back and forth, just a little wobble, just to feel as if it's not even tight at all. It feels normal. Fine, we're at 42. $2,220 miles on it now. We're getting ready to take off. Bridlewood and Cross Timbers here. Heading out to 35 if we keep going this direction. 36. I'm right between the lines, perfectly fine. Feels perfectly fine. Turning to the right a little bit. There's no binding or anything there. That feels perfectly fine. Feels fine. Hugging the left line a little bit, but did not go over it, and it still feels perfectly fine. go. Right in between the two lines right now, 44, and it feels perfectly fine. There we go. It just started grabbing a little bit to the left. There we go. It just grabbed again to the left, and I'm nowhere near that left lane. And even if I wasn't in the left lane, why would it pull me into the damn lane? We're just going to turn around here and see if we can get in some lighter traffic going back the other direction here. And since everybody's traveling out to 35W to go up north or go to Fort Worth, so let's try something different. Let's try the middle lane here since we got less traffic in between two dotted lines here. 38, 41, 43. Feels fine. 45 feels fine. 46 feels fine. 48 speeding up a little bit more. 52, 53 feels perfect. There we go. Just completely jerked one direction then the other after it bound up, and that was at 56. But there was no indicators that on the dash that a lane warning or anything like that. So my conclusion is that it can happen up in the 50s. It hasn't happened as bad as it did the other morning where about totaled the car. But clearly there's something obviously wrong with it. And the funny thing is in this video, this last weekend taking up to Oklahoma, I had my left hand on it and it kept telling me that it was a warning that I need to keep my hands on the steering wheel. But the irony of that is, as good as this technology is I've been literally just lightly touching it and I have not had that warning come on once here either. So I'll add that to the list for them to take a look at too. Right there, we're feeling okay. We're feeling okay. No warnings. I'm right between the middle lane, two dotted lines. Feels fine. Feels fine. We're gonna curve to the right here. It feels fine right now, and we're dropping down. We're at 54, right between the lines. Curving off to the left now. And stop light, which is good. Let's start off from a stop again and see what we've got. Drop down temperature a little bit, 69 degrees, but as you can see, no lights, no cruise control was on for that, no steering assist. The headlights are on auto, the fog lights are on, and the auto stop and start is off. So back at Bridlewood here in Cross Timbers, heading back into Flower Mound. So you could feel it lightly act up at least probably 3 times since the indicators came on. The indicators have come on twice on this video, so again, it feels perfectly fine here. Going through the intersection here. We're at 40 between the lanes, perfectly fine. Nothing really binding or anything else. Got a red light up coming up here, so I'll start decelerating and see if it, here in a minute, and see if it does it on deceleration. So I've gotten it to do it on acceleration and deceleration. And I would assume that this is tied to whatever created the issue the other day, but again, it is not completely bound up since then, but it's definitely not right. Turn off to the right here, and we're perfectly between the lanes, dotted on both sides. So kind of curious to see if it has something to do more with a solid line on the one side versus the dotted lines, but I haven't correlated anything there yet. And we're at 41 and steering feels fine. Gonna get over into the fast lane, left-hand lane, so we got the solid stripe on one side and see if that makes a difference. 38 feels fine. So I have gotten it to lightly act up in the 51, 52 range, but from the best I've noticed, the sweet spot seems to be around that 38 to 41, 42, somewhere probably around in there. Because the speed limit was around 40 down that road where I about wrecked it into the median and the sign the other day. See, it feels fine there. I'm got the left solid stripe on one side here. Up at the stoplight here, and $2,225 miles, 5:50 p.m. and 69 degrees outside. Again, nothing on, no cruise control, nothing's been turned on. Steering feels perfectly fine now. We touched the line on the left there going across because of the way the lanes shift, and not a darn thing. But yet it has a fit when it's not even near it. There we go. It just locked up again, and the white line flashed on the left-hand side, and we weren't even anywhere near the left solid line. I'm staying right between the lines there, and now the right one's on light bright and the left one's on. I mean, that makes no sense to me, but what do I know? Feels perfectly fine right now, and they're both off now. Back on. Now you got me curious why the lights sit there and flash like that, but something else for them to explain when they see this video, I'm sure. Out there it goes, just locked up. Lights flashed off and on. And we're gonna turn left here to go home. House is right up here. We won't hit 30 to 40 miles an hour again here on this trip, so I'll gotta wait for all this traffic anyway. I'll stop recording.